Good morning. This is my Shaman Oracle reading for Thursday. I do run late a little bit. Sorry about it. Today I'm reading for Leo, Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio. And the reading is for Scorpio. Welcome, Scorpio. First card for you is Abundance. And abundance is to say to prepare yourself for incoming abundance. Release any mental blocks that you may have in the fairy land and the human land. There is enough abundance for everyone. The arrival of this fairy tells you that abundance is on its way. Perhaps you will receive an unexpected gift or a cash windfall. It could also be a spiritual gift, whichever form it takes. You just have to make sure that you are ready for it. Make sure you are in a place of receptivity, that you believe and know you are worth to receive any abundance. Work on this if you feel it could be an issue for you. By feeling truly worthy, we can be receptive to the flow and the blessings of abundance in our lives. If you feel unworthy, ask yourself why and be honest, for this is the key to the door of abundance from the universe, spiritually, emotionally, and physically. Often feelings of unworthiness, they can stem from our childhood, and facing these feelings can sometimes be challenging and painful. Taking your feelings through with a trusted friend or a professional counselor could reap many rewards, shifting any negative views of yourself and of your worthiness to receive. Self-worth is the key here. The fairy of abundance says that there is enough abundance in the universe for everyone, and you have just as much right to it as anyone else. So prepare yourself for incoming abundance and then simply enjoy it. The next card is the Daffodil fairy, and the card is about new beginnings. You feel a tap on your shoulder, and in a flash of yellow, you see a daffodil fairy fly by you. In a high, sweet voice, she says, "The best is yet to be. It is time for a new beginning." With glee, you race after her into the forest. Life goes in cycles, just as the spring follows the winter. A new cycle is beginning in your life. In the phases of the earth, the plants die in the fall, so that there can be new births in the springtime. It is the universal dance of death and of rebirth. There is a time to end and to begin, and this is the close of one cycle and the beginning of another. We associate the daffodil with springtime, as it is one of the first flowers to emerge after the snow. So its shape echoes the feeling of trumpeting in the new season, and its color suggests vitality, radiance, and lots of sunshine. The appearance of this card brings you the message to wipe the slate clean. It is time to release the old and to start again. It can be difficult to release familiar routines, situations, or relationships when they no longer empower you. However, your higher self encourages you to not cling to the old, but set sail into new waters. If you find yourself afraid to let go, the Daffodil Fairy urges you to face your fear and allow yourself to stretch in a new direction. The Creator is at your side, and wonderful opportunities will be born in your life. Wholeness occurs when you can say yes to both the endings and the beginnings. The spirit of the Daffodil Fairy says to you, it is time to start a new project or a new cycle. Life force and vitality, they are emerging, so release that which doesn't serve and support you. Make way for a new start, because success is at hand. Now we come to the Divine Feminine card, and that is Ariadne, and she is the mistress of the labyrinth. And she says, my soul knows the way, and the only way out is through. Who was she, or is she? Ariadne represents the love and support available to us when we dare to be courageous. Ariadne is known as being both a Greek goddess and a human daughter of Minos, the king of Crete. Her father put her in charge of the labyrinth, where 7 human sacrifices were made every 7 years to appease the Minotaur who lived within it. So the Minotaur had a head of a bull and a body of a man, and he preyed on those who got lost in the dark. One year, a valiant and heroic man named Theseus went into the labyrinth to slay the Minotaur and end the sacrifices. Ariadne fell madly in love with him and gave him a sword to kill the Minotaur and a ball of red thread, so that he could find his way back out of the labyrinth and into the light. Ancient Greek myths, they were oral, so there are varying accounts of Theseus and Ariadne eloping after his success, or others were Ariadne's consort, Dionysus, the Greek god of ritual, madness, and religious ecstasy, chases after her and pleads with her to return to him. Whichever way the story ends, the constant is that Ariadne's love and support changed the fate of so many who would have otherwise been lost in the labyrinth. So when you select the card in your reading, Ariadne is a symbol of the hope, the divine assistance, and the step-by-step process we can take to move through a difficult time or to confront an injustice in our life. She helps Theseus because he is daring to end a pattern of madness. He is willing to do whatever needs to be done to stop the injustice. She gives him the tools to create his desired outcome. He is successful because of her, and she assists him because he acts with courage. Her message is that our courage is always in some way rewarded when we seek to end an unnecessary pattern or routine that is no longer serving us, even though we initially created it in the effort to keep us safe. It can feel as insurmountable as facing a horned part man, part beast that lives in a dark maze inside us. Pure terror. But the soul always wants our freedom, and the divine is what liberates, not confines us. It might feel like we cannot find our way out of this situation, this maze, but we can. We can trust the soul, that the soul knows the way through this, and that spiritual support is a given. Ariadne wants us to be brave so that she can fall in love with our actions. She's both a goddess and a human. She gets our fear, but she also knows just how much power we hold as well. So ask this soul voice meditation: what allows me to feel supported while doing the inner work? And set this intention: my soul knows the way, and the only way out is going through it. Next card is the card called Contract. It's about partnership and legal commitment. This card shows a contract in the background, ready to be signed, indicating a committed connection of some sort. This union may be a business deal, or the sale of a home, a new job, or even a commitment in marriage. Whatever the connection, this card is more than a casual agreement. It is usually something that requires a document that is binding, at least for the time being. The scales of justice, they also indicate that if a legal action is underway, it is likely to turn out in your favor. The card shines a light on potential new opportunities for you, so remain aware and receptive to what may be coming your way. Say this affirmation: I am attracting wonderful, beneficial connections that support and honor me and bring me great happiness and abundance. Next card is the Unfinished Symphony. It is about unfinished business, an incomplete lesson, the lack of a closure, and the need to make amends. The Oracle's message is that this is a time to tie up loose ends as you near the completion of a cycle or a project and the mastery of a lesson or a skill. Before you can move forward, it is important that you come to terms with where you are right now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You cannot move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. So reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. There is a relationship message. Moving on is difficult when love lingers, things are left unsaid, and you haven't had the opportunity for some closure in your relationship and in your heart. You can still feel bound up in relationships when closure is denied you. It is important to achieve this for yourself. So write that letter, make that call, or have that conversation over a cup of coffee or tea. For peace of mind, accept matters as they are, make amends if need be, and declare your feelings, even if only to yourself. Be clear about what was left unresolved and close the door on the past so you can set yourself free. There is a prosperity message. Make sure you complete projects now before starting new ones. Perhaps you have created something special that will increase your sense of abundance and bring you opportunities for wealth. However, if you do not see it through, it will not add up to anything but more clutter. Now is the time to put your nose to the grindstone and complete the task that have accumulated. Pay your bills, sign the documents, do your filing, hand in an assignment, and complete a work of art. Tie up loose ends so you can move forward with certainty, knowing you are on the prosperous path and feeling refreshed and excited about the future. There's a protection message. When unfinished business casts a shadow over your life, it is a reminder that procrastination is a form of self-sabotage. It is not in your best interest to stall. Even stumbling forward is better than holding back. So do not overthink any things or let yourself get distracted. Just tie up any loose ends and deliver the results. Do not quit before the finish line. Spirit wants you to win. And the last card is from the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. Out came the Phoenix, and that is a special card of the deck because it is a spirit card. It's about freedom from suffering and past karma and reincarnation. The phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with any rage. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication, and that yoga technique is called tapas. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and a great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us or what we have done to others. The stuckness and the dead weight, they fall into the ashes, and lightness and clarity emerges as the stagnancy continues to smolder. The phoenix lifts our spirits up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before, so look closely, because it is a sign that the fire of transformation is upon your wings. The phoenix relates to the first chakra. The ancient yogis believed that our heaviest karmas reside in the first chakra. So this earthen center is also called Muladhara, or our root. The ascent of the phoenix begins here. The ascent of the phoenix begins here, and as the entanglement of karmas is slowly burned, it rises from the ash toward the navel center. Again and again it makes this journey from first to the third chakra, and so purifying our essence and freeing us from the past. That was the reading for Scorpio. Thank you for listening, Scorpio. I do wish you a rest of a great week. Take care and goodbye.